My name is Paige, and I'm 38 years old. I recently achieved my dream of opening my own restaurant. In fact, when my daughter, Paula, who's now in middle school, was little, I lost my husband. He used to run a restaurant, but back then I didn't know anything about cooling or managing a business. There was no way I could handle it on my own, so I had to make the difficult decision to close it down. I felt so guilty about it, like I was letting him down. That's why I decided to start from scratch, learn everything I could, and now I've finally opened this restaurant. The other day, my sister Phoebe, who lives nearby, came to eat, and she said, "I can feel it. I can feel it. This place is going to thrive starting next year." There it is, Phoebe's sixth sense. Her predictions always come true. I am so happy. Oh, and Phoebe, you've been spreading the word about my restaurant, haven't you? The other day, a bunch of people in suits came in, and they all said they knew you. Of course, they've all been saying they're too busy with work right now, but they'll come back once things settle down. Really? Oh, that's great. Still, Paige, you're amazing. You raised Paula so well on your own, and now you've even opened a restaurant. No, I wasn't alone. Since Paula was little, you and Mom have been helping me with childcare and housework. Yes, and it's thanks to the support of everyone around me that I'm able to enjoy my life now. However, there's only one person nearby who's extremely troublesome. One day, on my way to the grocery store on my restaurant's day off, "Oh, look who it is! Paige!" This is Sophia. She has a daughter, Mia, who's in the same grade as Paula. "Oh, so the restaurant's closed today, huh? That's why you're walking around in such shabby jeans and a cheap shirt, right?" See, she's very rude and annoying. Sophia moved to the neighborhood last year. Like me, she's also widowed. Since our daughters are friends and we had similar situations, I thought we could get along, but that was my mistake. "My late husband was an elite and my family is wealthy. This dress, it's from a famous designer. Not that someone as poor as you would understand." From the start, Sophia was full of these kinds of bragging stories. Well, I'm in a hurry, so goodbye. I quickly left the scene. By the way, I've heard from Mia that her mother pays for their lifestyle with her parents' money. Bragging about the things bought with your parents' money? How embarrassing. I tried my best to avoid Sophia. Besides, I had heard from Mia that her mom often brought men home and treated her like a nuisance, which was a huge red flag for me. At some point, Sophia noticed I was avoiding her, and it seemed to really bother her. In addition to her constant bragging, she started making derogatory comments about me, like earlier. She also seemed to dislike the way other moms complimented me for opening a restaurant. The day after I ran into her at the grocery store, Sophia came to my restaurant. This woman always shows up here the day after seeing me. "How dare you walk away while I was talking yesterday? Plus, for the record, it's about 1 billion years too early for you to think you can avoid me." Sophia stormed into my restaurant, fuming, and plopped herself down at a window-side table with an angry huff. "Ugh, what a shabby place. Hey, everyone, you better not eat here. Poverty might rub off on you." She said this loudly enough for all the customers to hear. Since the restaurant was still fairly new, this was only Sophia's 3rd or 4th visit, but I was already considering banning her for good. Before I could act, though, one of my regulars, a sweet elderly couple, beat me to it. "Paige, you should ban that person from your restaurant," they said with surprising firmness. Incidentally, everyone in the restaurant at the time happened to be loyal regulars. I'd had just about enough of Sophia's antics, so I took their advice and officially told her she was no longer welcome. "What? I'm a customer. You're really going to kick out a paying customer?" Sophia barked, indignant. But when the other patrons started booing her in unison, she must have realized she had no allies. "All of you, just you wait. I'll make sure you regret this." she spat before finally stomping out of the restaurant. The next day and the day after, Sophia tried to force her way into the restaurant. But my burly chef managed to chase her off. By the third day, she stopped showing up altogether. However, a new disaster struck in a way I could have never anticipated. One evening, just before closing time, the restaurant phone rang. When I answered, a man's hesitant voice came through.
Hello, my name's, Thomas Smith. I found your number online, and I wanted to ask, do you take private bookings?
Yes, we do. We can accommodate up to 50 people for a private event.
Great! Then I'd like to book for 50 people with your most expensive course, next Saturday from 8 p.m. for 2 hours. Does that work?
Thank you very much. That works perfectly. Could I also get your phone number? Feeling optimistic, I hung up and prepared for the big event. Then the following Saturday came. We had everything ready, 50 portions of our finest dishes, and waited for the guests to arrive. But 8:10 p.m. came and went, then 8:20 p.m., and not a single person showed up. Could this be a no-show? The chef and I sat nervously staring at the perfectly arranged dishes on the tables. I'd been trying to call the customer, Mr. Smith, several times, but while the phone rang, no one ever answered. If this really was a no-show, all 50 meals would go to waste, and the loss to the restaurant would be enormous. As I dialed Mr. Smith's number one more time, suddenly a voice on the other end snapped. "Who is this? If you're a woman, I won't forgive you." Startled, I nearly dropped the phone. Why is Sophia answering the customer's phone? Customer? Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, I told him to block unknown numbers. Anyway, about the reservation, he decided to go with another restaurant, so just cancel it, okay? What? You can't be serious. This is a huge problem. We've already prepared food for 50 people. When Mr. Smith made the reservation, he agreed to notify us in advance if he needed to cancel, and... Oh, please, Thomas Smith, that's not even his real name. As if we'd ever have a class reunion at a shabby little restaurant like yours. We're actually in the middle of our university reunion right now. Oh, it's such a beautiful venue. Way better than your place. What the hell? That's awful. At the very least, you need to pay for this. Did you do this out of spite because I banned you from the restaurant the other day? Let me make this clear, Sophia. If you don't take responsibility, I will sue you. Huh? Sophia? Who's that? No idea what you're talking about. What the? Before I could say more, the line went dead. When I tried calling back, I found out I'd been blocked. That woman. She can play dumb all she wants, but I know it was Sophia, no doubt about it. I was seething with rage, unforgivable. But if she kept denying it, suing her might be tricky. If only I could track down the guy who made the reservation and force the truth out of him. In this case, the police probably wouldn't help with something like this either. Just then I heard the door open. Good evening. No customers tonight? Phoebe, that's it! I have a secret weapon. Phoebe! I explained everything to Phoebe as soon as she arrived. After listening intently, she said, I knew it. I had a feeling something was going to happen to you, Paige, so I came by. By the way, that Sophia woman, where did she say her class reunion was from? Mia mentioned it before, apparently. It's Panic Collection University. It's nearby. Oh, really? Interesting. Very interesting. A sly smile crept across Phoebe's face. That's Sophia. Daring to mess with my Paige. What a stupid person. I think I'll beat her ass. What? Phoebe is usually so sweet and rarely gets angry. Seeing her smiling while a vein pulsed on her temple was enough to send shivers down my spine. Not long after, Phoebe made a phone call. A short while later, one after another, people in suits began streaming into my restaurant.
Man, I'm starving. Lucky I stayed late at the office.
As they took their seats, Phoebe clapped her hands and said, All right, everyone. Dinner's on me tonight. Think of it as a little reward for your hard work staying late. Oh, and while we're at it, I've got something to ask you all. In the end, Phoebe paid for everything, saving my restaurant from financial ruin. I couldn't be more grateful. I was in tears. But this wasn't the end. What happened next? Well, let's just say thanks to my big sister Phoebe, Sophia was about to hit rock bottom in the most spectacular way imaginable. Hello? Ugh, Paige. Wait, who's that woman? She's my big sister. Nice to meet you, Phoebe said with a calm yet icy tone. I heard you were the one who made a reservation for 50 people at Paige's restaurant yesterday, and then canceled without notice. What? I don't know anything about that. Oh, so you're going to keep denying it, huh? I said I don't know anything. Anyway, isn't it the kind of place that deserves to get ghosted? That restaurant is so tacky. And Paige, you're the worst as a person. Unbelievable. If anyone's the worst here, it's you. Then again, with the way you carry yourself, I'm not surprised you're in a mess like this. With that, Phoebe stepped to the side and yanked someone's arm, pulling them out from behind the door where they had been hiding. When the person came into view, Sophia's eyes widened in shock. Josh? The man, already cornered by Phoebe, stood there trembling, tears streaming down his face and his shoulders slumped. This was the man who had called himself Thomas on the phone. Actually, his real name was Josh. Well, you see, I'm the CEO of a company near Panic Collection University. Josh here happens to be one of my employees. CEO? Sophia stammered. That's right. My company employs quite a few graduates from Panic Collection University. So all I had to do was ask around a little, and it didn't take long to find out who attended the reunion yesterday. Then I simply had a little chat with Josh here and encouraged him to tell me the truth. Isn't that right, Josh? Phoebe turned to him, her smile bright but cold as ice. Although her lips curled in a pleasant grin, the tension in her eyes and the faint twitch in her temple made her expression nothing short of terrifying. Sure enough, Josh began trembling uncontrollably, his face pale.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
He stuttered on the verge of tears. So, Josh, you made that reservation at Paige's restaurant under Sophia's instructions, didn't you?
Yes, that's correct. There's no mistake.
Hey, Josh, what are you saying?
Shut up! If I had to choose between you and the CEO, I'd definitely choose the CEO. My life is on the line here. You don't know how terrifying they both are!
Thinking back, I remembered someone from Phoebe's company once telling me the CEO's cold as ice when dealing with Karens. She smiles like it's nothing when she's angry, and that's what makes it even scarier. You traitor! Give me my money back! Right. Sophia, I heard you've been helping Josh pay off his debt, but you're living off your mother's money, aren't you? I doubt you've told her about the money you've been paying to others, have you? What? I know that your mother has been giving you money for Mia, because Mia supposedly needs treatment for a disease she didn't even know about, right? That's how you managed to get a large sum from your mom, isn't it? Wait! How do you even know that? I never told Josh about that. Go away, I'll call the police.
Stop! Stop it! I'm not going to take any responsibility. Sophia, you can't beat my CEO! Just give up!
What the? You want to know how I know? I can feel it. I can feel it. The thing in your right pocket of your skirt, it's a receipt, right? From when you bought fried chicken at the convenience store. Wait, how do you know that? I can see it. I can see it all. In that shoebox, the top shelf to the left, there's your fish sandals, right? What? No way! Fish sandals? By the way, if I were to expose everything to your mother, Sophia, what do you think would happen to you? Huh? Of course, your mother would stop sending you money. I wonder if your mother would say she's cutting the bond and will raise Mia on her own. Wait! You'll have to get a job, but no company will hire someone like you, right? If you ever have to live under a bridge, make sure you get permission from the store owners to collect cardboard for your house, okay?
I don't want that!
The woman who mocked Paige will be ruined. Just thinking about it gives me chills. Sophia turned pale at Phoebe's prediction, while Josh was shaking and crying. Just then Mia and Paula arrived in their uniforms. Welcome back, Paula. Mia. By the way, I was hoping to visit Mia's grandmother. Could you help me with directions? Phoebe said, skipping over to Mia, clearly enjoying herself. After explaining everything to Mia, I, along with Paula and Mia, got into my car and headed straight to Sophia's parents' house. Sophia's figure, frantically rubbing her forehead on the ground, quickly disappeared out of sight. As predicted by Phoebe, after Phoebe spoke to Sophia's mother, everything unfolded exactly as expected. Mia was taken in by her grandmother and Sophia's allowance was stopped, leading to a complete severance of ties. Sophia ended up building a cardboard house by the river, and I occasionally passed by her on the bridge. As for Josh, who was already a troublemaker, he soon made a huge mistake at work and couldn't continue in the job, eventually quitting. His next job turned out to be in a toxic workplace with no holidays, endless overtime, and miserable pay. His debt kept growing, and all he could do was cry every day. He even came to Phoebe, begging to be rehired, but was promptly turned away. As for me, true to Phoebe's prediction, my restaurant is booming. We've been featured on TV and in magazines, and people from all over the country are coming to my restaurant. Recently, Phoebe came by again. Wow, your place is really thriving. Yeah. Oh, and Mia came by with her grandma yesterday, and she said she wanted to see you. Mia is totally a fan of yours, Phoebe. Aw, that makes me so happy. I'm so glad Mia's doing well. Mia never liked her mom, so she said she's happy living with her grandma instead. Well, let me show you to your seat. Today's special is our restaurant's signature margarita, right? Exactly, it's margarita.
Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see next? Stay tuned for more!